everybody. Thank you. And welcome again to another episode of Tell Them Why You Mad, Sis. Speak what you really feel. So this is Coach JB of Jennifer Black of Black Light Coaching. And I have a special guest here today. I have one of my good girlfriends from high school. Like, let me tell you, we were so close, like our boyfriends were cousins. Like, that's how tight we are, right? So I have here Chief Warrant Officer Aseba Green and also Dr. Aseba Green, because today on our episode of Telling Why You Mad, sis, we doing Black Girl Magic and we PhDing it over here. So as I announced in a couple episodes ago that I just recently got accepted into a doctoral program, so I had to reach out to my girl, say, and like be like, girl, let's chop it up, because I'm gonna need all of the what do I need to do? What do I need to do? Like, how do I prepare myself? And also because we come from the same place, like we graduated together, like we work together, we have experienced life and and stuff. So it's like it's time for her. I'm just like, you know what, girl, let's get down to the really nitty gritty of what a PhD doctorates look like. So Aseba, give them a little something. I gave it a spill of us, but if you want to add some else or add something else to let these people get to know you.
Well, you've done a wonderful job. You did it all. It's funny because I was thinking today, I was like, I would never have thought that first of all, I would never have thought we would. So I remember like few years ago when we had kind of reconnected on Facebook and stuff, and was like kind of catching up and stuff like that. And I never thought, I thought to myself throughout those years, I was like, I'm so proud of Jennifer, just like all the stuff that you've been doing, you know what I'm saying? Because you went to school, you pushed through, you got all that stuff. I didn't have that same path. I went to school, but then I went to the military with Kenya. So, we took a whole different path. And so two different outcomes could have came out, but we met back up. So I'm thinking about that as far as the circle of life and how it just kind of you can try to like
it full circle. It's soulmates. Yeah. It's like, it's like when your soul connects with someone, it connects with that person for a reason. If that person comes back, then you'll know the purpose that they're serving in your life.
Right.
So like it's crazy, girl. But how I brought it back full circle. And it's like when we reconnected, y'all, like it felt like home all over again. I gotta be honest. Like it really did. Like I didn't have to be anybody else but me, because you remember me as me, like before any of whatever. Like, and right. The same with you. And it's just like you already know, like it's me here. And you was like, yeah, it's me. I was like, what's up? You was like, what's up?
The most fun part though is like we remember each other the way we were, but we've changed and grown so much since then.
Oh my gosh.
It's good to re-meet you, like to get reacquainted with you and learn each other,
yes. And see how our character has developed.
Right. Correct.
Because our character was there, but now to see how it has been developed through stuff.
Right.
So I got to start off with the first question.
Okay.
All right. Being that you were in the military and you didn't necessarily have a traditional college route, right? You didn't just go 4 years, then master's degree, and then go get your doctorate. You decided to go to the military and, go through the military route to achieve your education. What brought you to the point where you're like, you know what? I actually want to receive a doctorate.
So when I went into the military, because I went to Auburn University at first, and I transitioned to the military in my junior year. By that time when I went into Auburn, I was a pre-med major, and then I changed my major several times over. I just didn't know what the hell I was going to do and what to do, and I just was doing all kind of stuff. So when Kenya came back from Morgan State, we was talking, and then that's when we kind of decided to going to the military under the buddy system, which at the time, I was like, what the hell am I doing here? Especially in boot camp. I was like, what in the hell is going on here?
What's
But
happening?
yeah, I wouldn't do anything different. So got into the military, was trying to get used to this military thing, but I knew I still wanted to like finish my degree. That's always been in the plan. And so when I got in the military, I educated myself on the resources the military had to kind of further the education. At the time, they had a program where it's called tuition assistance. It's still out there, but they changed the program a little bit. But I was able to get a free laptop. I was able to enroll in a different school and do something different. I think I went into my first major different from in accounting. So I did accounting for a little bit at Franklin University. The girl, don't ask me. Franklin
Oh my
University.
God. I do not see you as a number cruncher, say. Like, no way in hell, ever.
Yeah. So accounting. So as I'm climbing the ladder in the military, the thing is that like as you climb in the military, they want you to be educated. So a lot of things like lean on you being educated. So by the time I was getting ready to get promoted to E7, which is a sergeant first class, they were wanting you to have like at least a associate's degree or at least a lot of credit hours towards a bachelor's degree, which when I was a sergeant first class, at that time, I had decided that I didn't want to be in the military. I was going to get out. I had tried to switch over to be a officer, but they had changed the requirements on me. So I was just going to get out. And then I decided to go warrant. So at the point where I became a warrant officer, this is where I just was like, you know what, I got to get this degree done, because I still had not had no degree. And this is in 2000. I switched over in 2013. So this is in 2013. Still didn't have no degree, not even associates. So I didn't have any degree. So when I crossed over, then I was like, I'm gonna buckle down and get done my degree. I was like, just whatever. So that's when I was like, I'm just gonna get a degree in liberal studies because I need a degree. So got the degree in liberal studies. And then right after that, I was like, okay, well, I need to go ahead and get a master's because I'm already behind the power curve. So I went straight into the bachelor's degree into the master's. And at the time, so the Army will pay for your bachelor's degree full 100%, right? The master's degree, they pay 75% of that. So some of that still comes out of your pocket. And depending on how fast you want to get it done, then you will have to pay some of that out of pocket. I want to get it done. So I finished my master's. It was a 2-year program. I think I finished it in like a year and close to 2 years, but a little short of 2 years.
Wow. So you were
yeah,
humping.
I was taken aback.
Like you, girl, that
I
overload.
I wasn't playing. I was just trying to get.
Obviously, like, because because I'm
So,
sitting here like, you were in the military working a full-time job. Like, no, like, ladies, I gotta stop her here, like, because she's going on this. Like, no, like, let's marinate on this, okay?
Yeah.
Like, working in the military full-time. Did you have your daughter at that time?
And my daughter by then.
And then hold on, y'all, like, I gotta bring out the struggle because y'all don't understand, like, this ain't it's easy for us to get here. No, it was a struggle for us to get here. So I'm just illuminating some of my friends' struggles to let y'all know that any and everybody can make it through this. Okay. Military wife, mother, going through school, and wait, you're working in an area that is like high pressure at that.
Yes.
So, and finish her master's degree in less than the allotted period of time. Girl, you better go.
It was difficult, but I was like, let me go ahead and push. I want to say that, I am grateful that, even though I'm divorced now, my ex-husband was instrumental in like the support aspect of making sure our daughter was taken care of. I didn't have to worry about a lot of that stuff that some people have to worry about. And that's a real challenge that especially mothers that's trying to go and get doctorate or any type of higher education is, trying to strike that balance between family and trying to be ambitious. So I was grateful that he was there for our daughter to kind of like be the sounding board and the kind of take those hits in that aspect. But it was just, even with that, it was still just difficult because I was still working a full-time job and stuff. So so once I got done with the master's, then I was like, at first I was like, okay, so, and this is where the junction kind of comes into play, where I was trying to decide whether I just want to go back and get another master's, because I knew I wanted to go back and I wanted to get another degree. I felt like in order to make myself marketable, because I just didn't know, I know we're going to get to this question, but one of the reasons why I decided to pursue the doctorate was because of the fact I just didn't know the unknown. And it wasn't more so of what it was aligned with my goals. I just didn't know what I needed. I didn't know what I may need. It's like getting ready for, it's like, if you ever heard of the term a fog of war, where you don't where you don't know where the enemy is, you don't know kind of how the what's coming at you. Life is like that a lot of times, and so you have to just be ready, you know what I'm saying, for anything. And so to that end, I just didn't know what I needed to be preparing for. I had been in the military for so long, so I was like, maybe I just need to get all this stuff, and then we'll just figure out how it applies later, you know what I'm saying, because it's a bad thing to get a degree, especially if somebody else paying for it. So then I got so after I got the master's, and I was like, okay, what do I do, master's, or do I go to doctorate and get a terminal degree? So I was like, at that point I was just like, well, okay, let me look at some of the master's programs. I have a master's in management, and so I was like, well, maybe I go get a master's in business administration, you know what I'm saying? You have a master's in business administration. So I was like, maybe I get a master's in business administration. And then I was like, well, I already got the master's. Maybe I can do the doctorate, because I mean, that would be even better. I mean, and then that would give me the top credential of this whole thing, and that pairs up good with my master's of management, and I could use it for something, you know what I'm saying? Now I'm thinking, okay, well, long term, I may be able to parlay this into something big, like maybe be
I see visions for you, sis. I really do. Like, as soon as it's time for you to get out, like, I see visions. Like,
yeah. So I was
come be a black light coach. How about that, sis? Come be a black light coach. Because listen, this girl's gonna be giving business coaching advice, because we do offer business coaching services. Just a shameless plug for black light coaching.
Love shameless plugs. They great.
Just gotta put it out there. This podcast is just not just to tell them why you mad. Listen, it's trying to help.
Tell you why you can get some help.
And right. Like, seriously, we out here.
Yeah. So then I looked into some programs, and then I decided to go with the doctorate in business administration. And when I decided to do that, I'm not gonna lie, I was a little discouraged at first, because like they give you the statistics of like, acceptance and like people graduating. So I didn't look at the acceptance. I was pretty sure I was going to get accepted. My problem was what the rate of graduation was, because that was pretty low. And I mean, based off of the ratio of the people that was getting accepted in the program, the people that was finishing, I was like, I don't know if I want to try that.
Yes, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I thought about a DBA and I thought about my business school experience. I could not see that level of study, because that is just, I could see how that happened. But you was a soldier.
I stuck with it. So now the business, so the doctorate, so I guess, so that I'll leave it at that. I'm gonna let you ask another question, because I don't want to just continue to talk. But yeah, so that's kind of why I decided to do the doctorate, and just kind of the journey of getting to the point where I wanted to do the doctorate.
So you were being visionary, but you said something though, that I hear, that it's just so different and unique. You're being a visionary for a vision you haven't even received yet.
Well, that's, I mean, just the,
it was what did you call it? The fog? What did you call it? What was it called?
War.
The fog of war.
Mm-hmm.
So like, you see how your military background kind of like prepared you to like, all right, God, like God's telling me to do something. I don't know what it is, but he's like figuring it out. And he was like, listen, this is, you were like, all right, fog of war, I'm ready. Like
Right.
whatever it is, however it's going to translate. I know it's going to translate somehow, but how is it going to translate? So,
Yeah.
okay. Say, but you know, I just recently got one of my textbooks, right?
I seen that.
Oh my God.
I'm interested to know what's in that text, but I might order it my damn self.
Say that thing is like 1,500 pages and I have to finish it before fall semester because it's summer
Oh,
reading. So let's talk about summer reading. Say, but let's take us back. I got a story
okay.
to tell the audience. Do you
Okay.
remember when we took AP European history in 10th grade? So I, because this podcast is international, I want my international listeners to know that we do study European history in America. We do.
Ooh, yes. And I
And we
remember,
were brave, and we were brave souls to take the AP version of it, which was advanced placement, which is AP European history. I mean, it's European history on steroids. That's
yeah,
exactly what it was as a 10th grader. Like, let me tell you guys, like, just I'm gonna let her tell her experience as well. But like just off of just knowing where we come from, we were one of three Black kids,
who
weren't
else was
we?
that? Hassani Baharani?
Okay, he was, yeah, that's four. It was, yeah, it was me, you, Asani, and Kenya.
Yes, right,
And let's be why let's go ahead and put it out there. It was maybe like 40 people who were taking European history, 30 maybe.
right.
This
Yeah.
is where we come from, y'all. Like we persevered through that. We were like, you know what? We don't want to be like everybody else. We want to challenge ourselves and put us in an environment where we're uncomfortable. Nobody else really looked at us. And I don't, we were in the same class because there was multiple classes of it.
No, that's why I said when you said the program, that's why I said Hassani Baharani, because Kenya, I didn't take European history with Kenya. I think you maybe was in class with Kenya.
Yeah, I think so too.
I don't think I was in a class with anybody. I think I was just by
I think we
myself.
talked about it because we knew we were the only Black kids that was taking it.
Right, right, right.
It
That
was
and
hard, y'all. So let me tell you about my own personal story about European history. So say you remember you had summer work?
yes, I
Say,
remember. Yes.
okay, so that was 10th grade. Say, you know, I
I
had
know,
a job. I was
I,
working at I was working in the mall. Say,
I know
do
it,
you
it
think that
felt like
summer work got done? Say, it
oh,
did
it,
it. It set me up for failure, sis.
it
But
did.
please understand, now that I've got my summer reading, God has shown me, girl, I told you once, you learned a lesson, didn't you? You see how that worked out for you. What you gonna
Yeah,
do this time? Because I'm asking you to do this time.
yeah, yeah. No,
So
yeah.
let's talk about the level. That was just a story. So like, what did you remember anything about being in that environment of placing yourself into where you were uncomfortable, like, and saying I want better?
Yeah, a lot of times it because of the fact that you're working a full job and you got other competing interests that you're trying to work, it's difficult to kind of exist in those places. So it made me really like buckle down on my study habits and utilizing my time correctly, because that's a big part of it too, like time management. Because what people don't realize is that doctorate, PhD level, they're not structured in a way where somebody's going to be telling you, like, it's not like Blackboard where you got this due on this date, this due on this date.
It's a lot of
Everything's
independent.
self-paced, independent study and stuff like that. And so you have to be disciplined to do that stuff. And you got to know kind of how to maneuver in like some techniques and tips. So like usually when I talk to people about, you know, like because it's a lot of reading. I mean, you already see that. A lot of reading, it's a lot of, and it's only gonna get worse. So it's not gonna get easier. It's just gonna get worse.
Thanks
You're
for
gonna
the truth, sis.
have a lot of writing, you know what I'm saying? And so it's hard to kind of balance that in kind of life. And so if and what I tell people, a good way, this is how I did it, is like the integration of both. So like I would have like my books. So like I would get most of my books on virtually. So then that way, like if I'm going to drop off my car or going to do something or taking a walk, I can read while I'm doing this stuff. Or, you know what I'm saying, some of the books come now where they have the audio. You can listen to the books while you're like doing stuff. So, while I exercise, I listen to a book or an article that I had to like read. And those articles are freaking 30 and 40 pages. You know what I'm saying? So like, so these are the type of things that you kind of incorporate. When I like, if I had to go somewhere, like there was never a time, there's no free time. So every time, like I would have my notebook, and then I would have like, so when like, say I go to a doctor's office and I'm waiting, I'll just like take out my notebook, I'll jot down some, like say I got to write a paper, I'll write down some notes, write down, if I've already started a paper, I contribute to whatever the paper is, pull out my phone, be able to read and stuff. So then that way you use your time more efficiently instead of being like, oh, I gotta wait to cram it all into this thing, you know what I'm saying? Or to cram it into this time, because those things kind of build up with you, and you know what I'm saying, it's difficult to balance all that stuff. Then some of the stuff you got to kind of know how to discern, where you got to say, okay, well, I'm able to kind of breeze through this, like kind of review it like top level instead of deep diving. You just got to kind of understand like which
Your
ones
pattern or other rhythm. It's like you get a cadence, right?
right, you won't know right now up front because this is new for you. So you're going to try to read everything. It's just natural. But as time goes on, you're going to be like, okay, I know I can just kind of run through this real quick, get the high points and move on, because I really have to focus my efforts onto this passage that I need to kind of go over. And this is what I'm basing my actual paper on. So, so stuff like that really helps. And incorporating the studying into your life really, really helps, because then that way, and then like your support system. So your friends, your family, they know, I mean, this is a big thing. So, and the friends and family, your support system, your tribe is important, because those are the people that's going to kind of give you the pat on the butt to keep you to going. Like, when you're tired and you don't want to do it, when you're frustrated with your chair, when they kicked it back, then kicked your dissertation back 5 times. And you know what I'm saying, these are the
real,
people that's like, you're gonna help you and be like, no, get back in there. You came all this way. You need to keep going. You know what I'm saying? So those are the people that kind of need to, when you're dealing with your tribe, then, sometimes people don't understand because they don't have that experience. But you have to like kind of be like, okay, well, this is what I'm doing. Like being able to kind of find that middle ground with them, so then that way they feel like they're included in the journey too. So I think that's very important as well.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something that I was sitting here thinking about, as far as like the overall wholehearted living and incorporating that family and the balance and life into it. So like, how do you balance with going through this? Is there a balance? Like, because I hear you and I don't hear any balance anywhere. There is none. Like,
Oh, there's no balance, and you can have like downtime. You shouldn't feel bad about downtime, but you should get into a practice where you're incorporating everything. I think because there's no balance, you got to kind of overcompensate in some areas. And so that means when it was time to play with Deja, I needed to like kind of decompress, because you can't be with the work all the time. So you say, okay, I'm going to take this set of time to do this stuff that I want to do, and then get back to it. The problem is that when you don't acknowledge that you need some time, you feel guilty about taking the time. And that's when the balance doesn't happen. The balance happens when you feel comfortable, like, oh, okay, I'm going to go out tonight because I've studied all week. I've done all this. Every waking minute of my time has been dedicated to my life and to this work. And so I am going to go and have brunch with my girlfriend, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to kick it for an hour and a half. And then after that, I'm going to get back to it. And it's okay, because you need the downtime. What's not okay is that you feeling guilty as soon as you get dressed up. It's like, oh, I should be studying instead of doing this. But you have studied all week. If you've managed your time well, then you've studied and kind of prepared yourself all week. You need an hour and a half is not going to make or break you if you've done good time management. An hour and a half will make or break you if you've been wasting time all week. So, that's the thing. If you being like not kind of dedicated to kind of taking like scheduling your time and actually making a concerted effort to actually do those things, then you don't need to take that time, but you have to take the time to kind of replenish and because you'll go crazy, like, because it's just so much work.
Girl, all I hear is, oh my God. Like, I'm just like, did I really want to do this? But of course I do. But I just like say, because it's manageable, I'm sure. Because again, you've gotten through it. So you're just giving the reality of what it looks like.
Right. Yeah, no,
And
and
it's
a
not
lot.
sugarcoating it. Like, this is giving you the real deal of what it looks like.
Right. But if it was easy, everybody would have it. It's 1%.
Oh my
It's
God. Listen, let me tell you about my girl's one-liners. Like, she has always been good at one-liners. Like, you never know what it is. Like, she'll never know what's gonna come out her mouth. But her one-liners, like cookies are for winners.
cookies are for winners. Yeah. And if it was easy, everybody would have it.
I
Wrote it. You wrote it, everybody got it. I mean, so hey, that's why cookies are for winners, because winners do good work and they deserve cookies. And so this is what this is. And everybody don't have it. It's 1%. And these are the breaks. So yeah, I mean, the people that actually,
again, her one-liners kill me. I stay laughing with her. Like, she kept me in stitches.
I'm telling you, but it's not about. So this is the thing that people kind of don't understand about higher education. So yes, some degree paths are kind of challenging. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're kind of challenging, but for the most part, all you have to be is diligent and persistent and stay the course, and you will make it through. If you're not diligent and you're not persistent, then you won't make it through. It's simple as that. So you don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just got to be the one that outrun everybody else.
You know what? The race is not for the swift or the strong. Okay, let's go ahead and take it to the word, y'all. Let me go ahead and let you know.
Yeah.
So I got one more question, and then we're gonna go ahead and just let the audience marinate on this one, because this has been so good, because you have been dropping the reality of what it looks like to get a doctoral or PhD degree, like regardless of what discipline you're in. So, based off of your life experiences, your terminal degree now, what do you think your purpose is leading you in how to share this knowledge you gained? Like, how do you think that's going to look like for you?
So it's funny because I still don't really know what I want to be when I grow up. It's crazy.
Right.
So I finished the doctorate last year. I'm in school again for IL psychology. This is for a master's in professional in applied professional studies. And so I still don't really quite know what I want to be when I grow up, but I do know I want to do something that is kind of that I want to give back. So I was thinking about maybe doing a nonprofit where I assist veterans and, other, and not just veterans, but Black people in like business advice, and kind of give like that kind of consulting, that kind of thing, where I have like a nonprofit and I can go out and do all this stuff. And so I was thinking about that. And then actually I was thinking about maybe, trying my hand at being a university president or something. You know what I'm saying? Because
hey, the sky's the limit. I'm so serious.
Yeah.
But you know what? Say and listening to you, I hear everything that you're saying, and I can tell you right now, it's definitely military related. So whatever it is, you're gonna figure it out. And we're gonna have to talk online, but I know an avenue for you, and it is so you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk offline.
Yeah, but it's definitely, I'm gonna go ahead and put it out to the listeners. She gonna be out here military and the thing, because she done hung in strong. When I say dedication for sure. So say, is there any lasting comments? Anything like you just have to just lasting comments, nuggets you want to leave with people, and just help them on their journey?
Yeah. So I think that if you want to, if you aspire to be a doctor, or any higher education, don't necessarily have to be a doctor or PhD. I think it's important that you have a good support system. I said that, but I think it's also important to have somebody that has done it. before. I mean, you talk to somebody that has actually gone through the process, because they can give you tips and trades, and they can support you in a way that your tribe, unless your tribe has people in there that have done it, they can't really support you in that way, because it hits a little different when you talking to somebody that's actually done it, because they can talk you through some things, versus people that want to support you but don't really understand the struggle. So I would say that is really, really important. So there's a group called Black Women PhDs. It's a group where the lady, she's a doctor, and she opened, it's her nonprofit organization where she takes in, I'll send you the information, Jen.
Yeah, because I was about to say, definitely send that over.
Yeah, they do like that she does like seminars where she talks to women that are thinking about pursuing their doctorate, that's in the process, and then of course people that already have achieved it. She has like little mentorship groups. I actually was on one a few weeks ago where we had the little theme. It was like tea and fascinators. So it was fun. So so finding groups like that will help. There's another one called Doctoral Mom, and she caters to single moms that's trying to go on this PhD doctorate path, or not just single, but any moms that's trying to do this thing. So that's a good for anybody out there that has children that think that they can't do it. It's a lot of women that have, and I'm not the only one. It's people that have most. I only have one. When I listen to like some of these other stories, some of these folks got like 4 and 5 kids. I'm like, how, by themselves, and they're still like trying.
Wow.
They're still doing this stuff. So it's definitely possible, and like but it just supports what I say. You don't have to be smart. You got to be persistent, willing to, dedication, willing to like kind of get in there and grind, and you can do it. But those things are very important. And I think when when it gets to if I'm going to talk specifically for doctorate and PhD program. So when it gets to your dissertation or your doctoral project, I would say that patience is the key as far as dealing with your committee. But you got to make sure that not too patient where it's going to hinder your progress. This is the area that you have to be kind of diligent in, because this is the thing, like PhD programs can go, the traditional one, probably about 4 to 5 years, but they can go a lot longer. They don't mind you being in school because you're paying them. So you got to make sure that you just stay on it, because otherwise then you won't meet those gates, and you won't kind of pass through, and you won't won't get to the end where you're defending your dissertation or your doctoral project. So those are kind of the things. I went through 5 chairs. I mean, in the dissertation, I thought I was going to quit because of the fact that it was so much going on. I was like, I kept writing in my for my dissertation though. That was one thing. I was like, I don't care if I'm not getting past these like
gates or whatever. Yeah.
Just gonna continue to write. And I'm glad I did, because I was able, once I got a chair that actually did what they were supposed to do, they were able to kind of accelerate me through the gates. And I had already written stuff. So I had stuff for them. So it's very frustrating. And I'm not unique in this. This is not a unique story. People have issues with their committee and their chairs all the time. You'll hear all these like kind of horror stories about people trying to get their stuff done, trying to get to the point where they defending it, all kind of horror stories. But the thing is that to know about those stories and actually be like, okay, well, I got to know how to kind of, this is where it comes in, knowing somebody that has gone through the process, because they can kind of talk you through it. But yeah, so that's pretty much all the advice I have as far as like, for the doctorate or anything, any higher education that you're trying to get. Just get with a tribe, get you a mentor or somebody that has done it, and actually the time management, and be patient and be persistent. That's pretty much it.
Oh my gosh, Aseba. Like, no, let's go. Was it Chief Warrant Officer? Wait, 3.
3.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, I gotta get her all of it, okay? Aseba Green. And also Dr. Aseba Green. Thank you so much for joining as a guest today, sis. I really do appreciate it. I felt Absolutely. Like eyes wide open, like, okay, let me take these rose colored glasses off because I'm sitting here like, yay, I'm going back to school like it's kindergarten. No, it's nothing like kindergarten. So let me get my whole entire reality back. Thank you, sis, for bringing that check and also sharing these nuggets with the audience. And you guys, thank you for listening. You can check me out at www.jennifercblack.com. And until next week, have a good week.